Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to the Bricks King podcast, where I'm going to bend your ear about Lego, review those amazing bricks of plastic, and discuss what is new and up-and-coming around the Lego world. I'm your minifigure ghost, Matt. Let's build on it. Welcome in, everybody. How are we doing today? Today is not an interview day. Today is a set day. Today is a set that you can't get right now day. A day of, you know what? Let's just take it in and see what happens. Anyway, what I'm referring to, we already did the breaking news, a week or so ago. And I'm referring to the new Winter Village set this year, the Holiday Main Street. Set number, if you don't recall, is 10308. And this thing is differently beautiful in its own way. It retails for 90 pounds or €100 or USD. I will say this. I absolutely love this stinking set. The Winter Village sets have come a long way. They've started to come back around. I think there's a tide that is turning here, and they're slowly kind of almost going back to their roots. If I could say, maybe they're going back to their roots, but at day's end, this is just different because it's been a while since we've had a Winter Village set that has been multiple pieces, multiple structures. So let's talk about it. Well, the first thing that we need to discuss what it comes with. Then we can break down what is actually in the width. You get a trolley car that can be motorized. We'll talk about it. And you get two building structures, which are actually nice. You know, they're good for what they are. You have a Main Street assembly area where you have a post office box and you have a clock. It was a street sign, and then you have the town Christmas tree. The Christmas tree that they put up, maybe not in downtown. I don't know that I've seen puny trees in downtown, but hey, it still works. So let's talk about small and then let's go to big, because that's really how the instructions work. First thing I want to talk about here is what you have for your Main Street assembly. It's just a few plates. You have some snow ideas that are going on here, but I do love the clock tower pole that is going on here that has the street sign of Main Street. By the way, these are stickers aside from the clock pieces. Everything else is just a sticker. Anyway, but what you have here is you have a nice little assembly piece that maybe just in its own right, you're not like, oh, I'm so jazzed about this. But what you can do with it is you can add it to a cityscape. You can add it to your holiday layout. You can add it to whatever. You want to put it in your city? You could put it in your city technically. Maybe you're like, you know what? I don't want it to be holiday themed. I want it to be Halloween themed. You could do that. You could absolutely do that. But I do love the four clocks on the clock tower here. And the street sign that says Main Street. Your post office box isn't anything super duper special, but it does have is it a French horn? It's not a French horn. It's a bugle. It's a bugle. I know what the bugle is. I think it's a bugle. Anyway, there are stickers on each side of your mailbox. Obviously, there's nothing in it, unfortunately, but you're going to find out there is a wish list. There's not really a letter. Well, there is a letter that the little dude that is carrying, but you want to see something that says like to Santa, like a print that says to Santa, or a sticker that says to Santa from Bobby, something other than just the plain letter tile. I can't do that anymore. But it is a nice little build. You do have some fence pieces here. The build is super simple. It is not complex at all. And let's move on to the tree. I like this tree build. The tree is not bad. It's a repetitive build, to say the least. You build four sides of the tree identically, and it's okay. I personally, this is my personal opinion. they use yellow translucent pieces here. I'm not a fan of that for lights. I know some people are like, you know what? I just want generic Christmas lights. I don't want all the colors and I do. I want a lot. I grew up in a house where we didn't have a lot of lighted up Christmas tree. It was, my mom was like, oh, I like the whitish yellow lights. And, that's fine. I want some color to my Christmas tree. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying that's my personal preference. But you're stacking up angled tiles and angled pieces that are on here, plates and stuff. You do have two different colors here. You have the forest green and you have the regular green that is going on here, which is nice. You do have some star pieces that they use here on each side of the tree. There's two on each side of the tree. And you have obviously your giant star on top, your coup de grace, which every Christmas tree needs. Down below, you have a few gifts. There's actually 4 of them, and they're just tiles with plates with, that kind of stuff, just to make it look pretty. Now, this does spin around, although it's not the intent to just spin around, but you do have a bar that pokes through the bottom plate that the base is on, which is white. You do have that you can spin it around and do whatever you would like with it. I don't think you could really motorize it, but it would still be fun to just be like, hey, look, this spins around. See the Christmas tree spinning, Billy? So we've talked about Bobby and we talked about Billy. I'm probably not going to use another B name here for the rest of the show. Anyway, let's talk about the other 3 builds. All right. Now, what I'm about to tell you about this trolley is probably not going to be anything that you truly, really care about, but I absolutely loved it. And as soon as I saw it after I built the other 2 buildings, I was like, that is awesome. Now, for all you marketing folk out there, the people that are like, you know what, we need to get this out to the people some way, somehow. We will get to it. I'm going to tease it and leave it. Anyway, so your trolley is a really nice build. It does have train wheels that are on the bottom. Super simple, new train wheel pieces. The build is not actually that difficult on the base, I should say. As you move upward, it is still not difficult. You have your handbrake here for your person that is driving your trolley. You have on the inside, you have 2 benches that are nicely brick built here. I like the way those are done in the brown color here. It can fit up to 4 minifigs, believe it or not. And there's actually space to fit 4 minifigs. So often the issue that we run into is, or at least in the past, you cannot sit 2 minifigs side by side because their hands stick out so far from their body. You need that extra stud. Well, you can do that here. They give you that extra stud to work with. Now, the only thing that I kind of don't like is you do have the bench here, and you do have a spot where your train dude, your trolley guy can stand, but there's nothing else. There's no other seating or anything like that. It's just the window pieces that are below the window pieces. It's not really great. I'm not a big fan of that. They do have some window pieces that have the lattice in black, which I guess that's supposed to be like a gate or something. You come on this way, you go off that way. But it's not bad. It's really not that bad at all. I would have preferred to have some kind of seating. It could have been, with a plate or something like that and to extend it. But I don't think they wanted it cluttered in the middle, which I appreciate. That's fine. It works for me because the windows take up part of the studded area. So on the exterior, because the top is just the top, we have windows here. We have 2 window plate tall windows. You do actually have some big windows on the ends, and I guess we can talk about the top of this thing. So the top of this thing is just a bunch of sloped pieces that are used here, 2x2 slopes, and they're attached to plates, and that's pretty much it. You do have some translucent colors in here, in the clear. That is definitely to be used for something later that we'll talk about. But that just simply plops down in there. You do have this weird piece here that is a 2x2 round plate And then it has a 2x2 round, is it convex? I can't remember. Anyway, the studs are on top of this thing and it's rounded on the bottom. And it attaches to it. And it's in the clear as well. There's a reason for it. And we'll find out later. But overall, this just sits on top. Not a big deal. On the exterior of this thing, on the ends, you have brick-built wreaths, which aren't horrible, but they're not supposed to be overly, impressive, because you do have the forward-facing light and the rear-facing tail light, and those are important. On the trolley, you do have 2 tiles that say Main Street on it, so you have that as well. They are the 1x3s in black here, and then you apply stickers. Then as you patrol down the side of this, you're looking with your eyes. You're like, what can I see? What is so unique? If you go down, now mind you, this is coming from the front. If you go down the right side, you have 2 little, I guess they're holiday decorations. You have 2 green plant pieces, and then you have a 1x2 rounded on the end with the open hold studs plate that can have the flowers attached. It's just, Christmas decoration, stuff like that, wreath type decoration. And then you have this giant tile that is used here, a 2x6, and it's got a sticker on it. It says, "Have a toyful holiday, Santa's toys and games," which you have Santa, you have teddy bear on it. That's nice. Your wreath in the back is the same as the one in the front, and your wreath on the adjacent side is the exact same on the opposite side. The only thing that is different on this side is it says H. Jolly's Music Store on the sticker on top of a white 2x6 tile. Okay, cool, whatever. It rolls, it does what it's supposed to. It actually can be powered up, which we'll talk about a little bit later, and I don't hate it. I actually think it's kind of cool. It's different. It's not just a singular building. It is more than that. Multiple pieces can do multiple things combined with the other things that you have. And I have a theory about this, and we'll get to it a little bit later. So the next thing we're going to work on here, discussing, I should say, not work on, because it's already been worked on and it's so pretty and amazing and awesome, is Santa's Toys and Games. What? They were marketing Santa's Toys and Games on the trolley? Are you crazy? What is going on here? There's a 2x6 tile that is in the middle of this build in the front that has that. Anyway, let's talk about the build overall, and then we can discuss all the little tiny features and stuff like that. You're building up on a plate base, obviously, and you're actually building 2 plates high before you really get into anything, which is nice. It's not going to break apart. On the front of it, you have the dark red, the dark reddish brown that is out here. And you've got the really, really dark green here, the evergreen type color that they use. I absolutely love this color. I wish it was in more builds. They don't use it enough. And I know it's a holiday theme, whatever. But you have some snow that is on the ground with the white plates and stuff. And you have your walkway that goes into the building. Above the windows on the building, so you have giant panes, single panes on each side of the doorway. And above that, you have 6 single pane windows, which are really nice. I shouldn't, single pane, not, anyway, I'm not going to get into windows. I'm a giant construction dude, so single, double pane. Anyway, we're not getting into glass. We're just talking about windows, okay? Windows inside of a frame. Smaller versus larger. And up top, what you have, in those windows, on top of those windows, in front of those windows, you have some wreathing that is going across. They use the 1x2 piece in green that we talked about just a little bit ago, and they use the cherry or grape pieces, whichever you want to prefer them as, that have the 2 little balls that hang out, and they are in red. So cherries, whatever you want to call them, I don't know. I don't know what they, it's holly, of course, but is it supposed to be berries? Is it berries? I think it's berries. Anyway, but the windows look really nice. The door opens from the front. It does have a golden quarter tile that is on it, and you open it, and it has a golden quarter tile that is on the rear. Now, inside of this, on the first floor, I'm looking at this from the rear right now. So if you're looking at it from the rear, what you have is a beautifully brick built cash register with a $100 cash bill that is on it. Onto the left side, in front of the big window on the left side. If you're looking at it from the front, it would be the right side. You have this beautiful stuffed bunny that is there. I just hope this is not like a horror Christmas movie where the bunny comes alive and grabs a knife and starts just going to town. I don't think that's the case, but it's always fun to, conceptualize what might be or what could have been just for fun. Anyway, so you have a clock that is on the left side as well. And it looks like it's about 8 minutes away from midnight, which spells what? Santa coming, right? Over off on the, last thing I forgot. Down below, there is a white, I'm assuming this is toilet paper. It looks like a toilet paper roll. And you have a gift that is hidden down there as well. So maybe somebody's hiding something. Maybe it's a ring in a box. Somebody's about to get engaged. That whole thing. Off to the right side, if you're looking at it from the rear, you kind of have this, you have a grill piece that is, I guess it's supposed to be a vent, maybe airflow that's going on. You have a train, a brick-built train that is in the window. You also have this little flag that is hanging down that says Santa's Toys and Games. It's got the teddy bear on it. It is a sticker, by the way. It's frontward facing. You have a tower that is going on. I'm going to say that's a lighthouse. I'm just going to say it. I don't think it is, but it's a lighthouse. The trans bluish tiles and green that is on here. You have your Wall-E, if you've ever seen the movie Wall-E, robot that is kind of going on here with the red feet, arms, black binoculars for the head, and a white 1x1 brick for the body. And just below that, you have what looks like to be like a makeup compact. Is it compact or compact? I don't know. I'm not a makeup person. And then you have a pair of blue skates that are on top of like this stand that is going on. So if we move to the upward section, we move from the tan into the puke green that Lego likes, which I'm not knocking. It's just a weird color. I like it for modulars. I don't like it for Christmas. Leave the puke green out. Anyway, so looking in from the rear side of this, on the left side, you have a brick-built Christmas tree, another one, yes, and it uses the 1x1 round tiles to, make colored lights. Look at that. Oh, my God. Mom, get out of here. And it's got a tiny little star that is on top of it. It is not the same star as the tree. The other tree had a wand that has the star on top. You have 3 gifts that are down below underneath the tree. The tree can spin if you really want it to, but I would prefer you not to because it may cause some damage. You have a nightstand that is here with a light. I'm assuming this is a cup for maybe milk for Santa. There is no cookies. There are no cookies. What is going on here? Why are there no cookies? But you do have a wish list. And it's got some check boxes that are in there. They're not checked, but some things that are on there. You have an orange and a teal colored rug that's going on. Who decorated this house? Like, is this 1981? What is going on here? Then when you move on to the bed, I love the way the bed was built. It was built upright, and then you lay it over and you attach it by 4 studs. Very cool. It has brown, obviously the white sheets that are sticking out. Why does everybody do white sheets? Does everybody sleep on white sheets? I don't sleep on white sheets. I like color. I like pop, Give me something that I can be like, you know what? I'm going to bed in red because I'm angry. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to bed in cool blue because I just want to feel the ocean, I don't know. Anyway, but they do have a teal comforter that is on top, which is ribbed. They use the 1x2 brick that has the ribbing that is in between. Shush, you people out there. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, moving to the top of this thing. There is nothing on the roof, unfortunately. It is very sad, very sad. But around the front of this thing on the second floor, you have some really nice decoration around the top of the windows. Again, these are the small windows, the single pane windows here. And then you also have a wreath with some more other things, holly type decorations that are. You do get a bluebird. I do like the fact that you do get a bluebird. That is a really nice feature to have in here. You have some snow that is up on the top of the building on the front, and it is also hanging down. I don't see anything like we have here in Texas that keeps the snow from falling off the top of the roof. That could be dangerous for the people down below. Come on, Lego. I need you to think about these things. Just kidding. Anyway, one of the decorations that I find really interesting, the decoration, I should say, around the window frame, they use the 2x2, but it is a triangular tile. I really like the way that is done. It's a flat triangular tile. It just adds depth to it. And they also use the 1x1 modified plate that has like the tooth in the front, and they just stick it in there. Because, again, it adds depth, it adds decoration, it adds a different kind of context to everything. You do have windowsills where the bird is sitting that are covered in snow. It's really nice stuff. And on the very top, I forgot to mention this, which I found really, really cool. On the top, they use some cheese wedge pieces, and they use some other sloped bricks up in here just to, again, add some decoration. They didn't really need to do that, but I appreciate the design team for really taking that into account, because we don't want boring buildings. We don't want flat fronts. We don't want, I guess you have to kind of have flat sides to a certain degree, but we just don't want all the bore. You know, we want to have a building experience, and I really appreciate them for doing such. Anyway, shall we move on to the last build here? I think we shall. Let's shall. Anyway, the last one here, you have H. Jolly's Music Store. Who's H. Jolly? I know what Jolly is. Who's H? Anyway, let's look at this thing from the front. The front, you do have some snow on the ground again, plates, blah, 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 blah. That kind of stuff, right? I shouldn't say blah, 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 blah. What they really did well here is they have a spouting that comes down the entire left side of this. They use the candlestick pieces here in the gunmetal gray, which I love so much. From the roof down, that's what they use. On the bottom end of things, because this is a music store, you have some music instruments in the window. You have a guitar, and you have, I don't know whether it's a violin or a viola. I don't know the difference. I think my sister played the viola, which I'm pretty sure she did, because I made fun of her. Like, you should play the violin. I could be wrong. Maybe I just made it up in my head, but she played one or the other. Down below that, what you have is, again, some Christmas type plant decoration. You've got some red flowers here with some greenery. You have a wreath that is on top of just above the front door here. The front door is in blue, which is a nice decoration, nice color choice here in the dark blue here. And you have the dark blue as well for the window framing up above. But what I found really interesting is they used Lego doesn't use a whole lot of these pieces. They are the very, very tall, rounded bricks that they use. They're square on the bottom, and they're round the rest of the way up. They're 2/3 tall. I think they're like 2/3 tall brick. And then the rest of the way up, they're rounded. And they use those in the windows and in the door, just outside the door frame for the decoration. I love the way that is done. They do have 2 lanterns that are just lit above the door. Those are kind of standard for any kind of modular that I've seen for the most part. But what I did not expect is they use the same flag piece that they used in the last build, the 2x2 piece that has clips on the end. They use that here for like an awning above the window of the music store on the bottom floor. And I thought that was really nice. There are a lot of bricks that are in here, the textured bricks, which are really nice. And then, you have your nougat type, your dark nougat color that's going on here. I do like the way that is done. It just adds, again, texture, depth, everything that you want. Above the door, you do have the H. Jolly's Music Store sign. It is a sticker. It's got piano keys that is going on. And then you have a ledge that has snow on it. Just above that, on the second floor, you do have these green banner type flags that are flying. If you think of the old castle flags that they had with some red posts sticking out. And then they use these modified sloped plate type dealios where they are 1 brick tall. They're rounded on the top third. And then on the inside, the plate is on the middle third. If that makes any sense to you, you may understand what I'm talking about. Those are over top of the windows. They are 2 windows tall. The small windows, they are 2 tall. 2 windows tall. 2 small windows tall. Does that 2 small windows tall? 2 windows that are small that are tall? Small to tall windows with the red thing? Whatever you want to call it. I'm totally kidding. Anyway, and then as you move up above that, you do have your sloped roof. You do have, again, a snowfall that has landed on the roof. It's oh so pretty. And you do have your chimney stacks on what is supposed to be each side. Now, the roof can open up towards the top. It is pinned in with Technic pin, although there is nothing up top of there. But maybe you want to be like, you know what, Santa stuck a gift up here. Oh, what is up here? I mean, you could. There is room. So let's spin this puppy around to the back. Let's start again on the bottom floor. We know there's nothing on the super duper top, which is technically the 3rd floor. But let's start what's on the bottom floor. On the bottom floor, what you have looking at it from the left, you have a tile, a 2x3 tile here that has a sticker that says holiday concert with a saxophone that has got some music notes coming out. And then you have a sax that is actually a sax in Lego version. It is just below that. I like that. Any musical instruments that you can add to your collection is always a good thing. So then moving across, what we have the door that opens inward. You have some piano keys that are hanging on the wall, which is kind of odd. I don't know if that's supposed to be art or maybe it's supposed to be like some kind of handheld piano device. I don't know. I don't think so, but I could be wrong. There is a conductor's wand that is just below that. That is a Harry Potter wand. There is a green, a sand green for all you perfectionists out there, a sand green cash register build that has a handle, a pull handle that is on it. And then just to the rear of that, you have a container that has 3 more wands for maybe you want to do Harry Potter magic. Okay. Maybe there is Harry Potter magic in music. Maybe we just don't know that. Maybe you think you know music, but you really don't. Anyway. So then you can see the backside of your viola, violin, whatever it is, and your guitar that is in there. By the way, the guitar is in white. I like the way that is done. It looks sharp. And then you have a drum set that is set up. I played the drums. I didn't play the drums very long, but I played the drums. There's a cymbal there as well. And then you also have the Daily Brick newspaper that is here. You got a dude playing the guitar that is in the actual window sticker as well. Anyway, so that covers up your bottom floor that is here. It's not the prettiest from the inside, but it does work. Let's move up to the second floor here. Let's start from the left and go to the right again. I told you that the only thing that was printed was blase, blase. No, I lied. There are a few. The piano keys that we just talked about are printed. And there is this 2x2 tile that has this weird funky pattern on it. It's like an orangish to the red. It's like spring yellow that is the actual tile color, and it's got this weird kind of color to it. A very psychedelic kind of coloring for this area up here. I was kind of blown away. I was like, what is going on here? Anyway, this is your where people are eating, they're hanging out. I wouldn't call it a kitchen. I wouldn't even call it a dining room. I would just call it like a lounge to a certain degree, a music lounge of awesome people. Anyway, on the left side, you do have an upper and a lower cabinet that is here. And I like the way these are done. Just simple brick built. You don't see these cabinets anymore. You have a sand green teapot. Maybe the teapot of Tyrann, if you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, that is there in front of that psychedelic paper. You do have something that might be like an oven. It is a clear door that opens downward. There is a compartment inside that you have room to put things in. Maybe a clear doored fridge. I don't know. But then you have a table that has cookies on it. See, I was wrong. But there's cookies here, but there's no cookies over there. There needs to be cookies over there. Not in this one, over there. Anyway, so there are cookies here. There are 2 saucers here that may have milk. There is a candle, an actual candle build that is here. And you have 2 swivel chairs in the lighter bluish color, the sand blue color. And then you have this picture on the wall, which is an homage to the gingerbread house, which I really like. Very cool. And then above that, you have emptiness of nothing where the roof is, the sloped roof is. Let's talk about the minifigs. You have a couple minifigs here. You actually have 6 of them. You have this lady that is wearing her best Charlie Brown shirt here with the diagonals that are the shark teeth that are going across it. And she's wearing green. She's got her outflowing hair of Betty Rubble. Is it Betty Rubble? Is it Barney Rubble's wife, Betty Rubble? Yes, I think that's her hair. And she has one face where she's super smiling and her eyes are closed and her mouth is open. And the other side, her eyes are open and she's smiling, but it just doesn't look good. She's carrying 2 bags here. She went shopping. She's super excited. I like having alternate faces in most cases. Then let's move on to the next lovely lady here. She's got her sand bluish pants that are going on here. She does have some bags that she is carrying as well, yellow and red. Her magenta top sweater is actually really nice. I do like that color. Smiling face, bright eyes. On the other side, closed eyes and kind of like a mouth open. Just, I feel so accomplished. She's got a hat that has the hair pieces sticking out on the side. We first saw this on Hidden Side. Let's talk about some of the other minifigs here. You've got your, I guess he's a conductor, your dude that is running your trolley, and he's in the darker blue color. He's got a pocket watch that is hanging in his pocket, of course. Nice tie and a mustache. I like his mustache. Plus, he comes with a hat. You got your little dude here that is carrying your letter. He has his big old furry type hat that is on, flipped up in the front. It must be really cold. On one side, he has a face where his eyes are open, obviously, and his mouth is kind of like he just saw Santa. Ain't nobody seeing Santa, okay? Especially like this tiny kid. And then the other one is showing 2 teeth, and he's just kind of like happy, like I'm going to the mailbox and I'm going to drop my letter in there, and Santa's going to love me forever. I'm going to get what I wanted. He does have the short legs, that don't bend. And I do like his vest, though. It's red, it's white, it's that lightish blue. It almost looks silver where the white is supposed to be. The arms are white, which is good. He is wearing gloves on his hands, obviously, because it's cold out, and he does also have his letter. Last 2 minifigs that we're going to talk about. You do have a lady here, and she's just hanging out, She's the lady. Maybe she's hanging out in Santa's toy shop, Not toy shop, but the actual toy store that's going on here. She's got the hair that she has a bun in the back of it. It's that nougat hair. She does wear glasses. She's smiling on one side. She doesn't have an alternate face, unfortunately. But her vest that she is wearing is the same exact idea on the 2x2 tile that we talked about on the last building. It's kind of going on in there. It's just kind of weird. I don't know what's going on with there. And she does have a very dark brown pants they're very not appealing in any such way. So then we talk about our last dude here. This has got to be H. Jolly's music dude, of course. Suspenders, tie, red shirt. It's holiday season. Why should we not? On the backside, you have the crossing suspenders. He's got gray hair with a receding hairline. Shut up, I know. Anyway, that's why I shave my head, right? And then he has his beard that he's growing, his mustache, and it looks really, really nice the way this is done. Obviously, this is a single face because of his facial hair. I do like this minifig a lot. I don't know why. Maybe we're just a kin. to each other. He's there, I'm here. We're just buddies. So let's talk about the set as a whole. You have 2 buildings. You have a trolley. Oh, we forgot about the trolley. The trolley can be motorized. There is a specific procedure in the build, in that booklet alone, that lets you know, hey, do this, do that, do this, do that. On the roof piece that I had mentioned, you can take that tiny little piece off, and that is essentially your button to be able to on, off. So I do like that it can be motorized. Hopefully you have the pieces. If you're looking for the motorized wheels, they are currently out of stock, which is not a good thing, especially because we move to the holiday season. Everybody's like, I want a Christmas train. I want a Christmas train. I want to build my own Christmas train. I want to build my own Christmas trolley, or I want to motorize my trolley. So hopefully that becomes sooner rather than later. I did check that prior to recording this just because I was curious to see if people could get it. The question becomes, are you okay with $100 or €100 or 90 pounds versus 200? Because that's okay, maybe not 200, maybe 160 USD. That's probably what it would have cost you to be able to get those pieces in it. Maybe 180. It's probably closer to 180 because there are light pieces that you can use in this. You need your powered up box and you need the wheel assembly. So maybe 200. Would you have been happy with 200? Most people would have been like, this is stupid. I don't like it, because they don't want to motorize it. They don't have the train track. They just don't have a desire. So I understand that. I don't have a problem with that. What I do like is the $100 price point. What I do like is what you get. You don't get just one single build. Although the single builds in the past have been fantastic. They've been phenomenal. They've been awesome little builds. But I don't need those. I don't need it every year. I'm okay with things being broken up. This, as I had mentioned before, I was going to mention this. I'll save it for later. These buildings feel very much like Lego City buildings that they're currently making, where they're not very deep, 6-8 studs deep. Monkey Kid buildings, 6-8 studs, deep. Honestly, I feel like this is the world that we may be going to. But if you think about it, the Winter Village stuff isn't super deep. And if you put these two together, you kind of almost have a decent building. You really, really do. You could take the other pieces that you have essentially and say, all right, with this piece count, I can take this, I can add a third story. I can add another vignette in this spot. I can add a Christmas tree outside. I can add these other little details. So I don't think it's out of the realm of asking for $100. I think this is going to go like hotcakes. I really do. I think this is going to be a big deal for a lot of people, especially with the Christmas trolley. I think it's going to go very well. Of course, everybody wants a light up Christmas tree. We already have a light up Christmas tree from the past, which is awesome. But I do like it. I do think the value is there. You get 6 minifigs, which are nice. You get 6 different minifigs here, although some of the pieces are reused. I like it. I'm a personal fan of it. I love anything Christmas. You could sell me a box of bricks, not even Lego bricks, just a box of bricks, show up on my front patio. If it's wrapped in Christmas paper, I don't care. I'm open to be like, I can't wait to see what's in here. They're bricks. You know what I can do with these? Yeah, there's going to be that 5-10 minutes of disappointment where I'm like, I just hate this. This is so stupid. Who sent this to me? If you send me a brick for Christmas, I'm going to find you. I'm just telling you right now. Don't do it to me. Anyway, I love it. I think it goes well with what we've seen in the past. I think it goes well with fitting into the Christmas Village theme. And here's the thing. Here's the big caveat. You can motorize the trolley. If you're somebody that likes putting a Christmas train around your tree, choo-choo, you're going to go nuts for this. Why? Because this is something, A, you can add that may not be a long train, or B, you can add as a separate train. Or maybe even C, if you're really into modifying things, you could actually absolutely modify this to connect it. You could. You absolutely could. You need other pieces, but you could. So with that in mind, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I hope you consider purchasing this thing on October 1st, which is right around the corner. And I hope you enjoyed it as much as I have. And I would love to know your thoughts. If you build it and you're like, you know what, I'm going to put this around my tree. You know what, I'm going to build this and we're just going to have family time with it. Or you're going to put it up the night before, or it's going in your holiday display. Whatever. I'd love to see your pictures. Hit me up. Instagram. Any social medias. Email. I'd love to see it. I would love to share it with the community. I'd love to retweet or Instagram. I don't know how you do it on Instagram. I'm still new here. But anyway. So until we meet again, I'm your minifig host, Matt. Let's build on it.